Hello punters and welcome back to another Saturday Racing preview. Of course, this week we've got the Caulfield Guineas, which is what we're looking at in this video, and then we've got the Spring Champion Stakes up in Randwick. So, look, apologies for obviously not posting last week. Really do apologise for that. I just didn't get round to doing it and getting it done, but we're back here. Hopefully plenty of you can get onto this video and watch it before tomorrow. Apologies it's out a little bit late, but it's better late than ever. So without any further ado, going to get stuck straight into it. Tomorrow's Caulfield, at the moment, it's rated a soft 5, and interestingly, I expected that it was going to end up getting into that, staying in that soft range, but it seems now that there's a possibility that it could even get upgraded to a good 4 by tomorrow. It doesn't look like there's going to be a whole lot of rain here in Melbourne overnight, and particularly through tomorrow. So we could end up seeing a good 4 there, but for now, I've done a bit of soft track form, but then also with the thought of I guess it dries out, then we'll be prepared for that. But look at the first race on the program. We've got 10 races to get through, so I'm going to get through these as quickly as possible. Don't want to keep you waiting for too long. And any of you that obviously we're going to be having a play at Randwick, you'll also be wanting to move on to that video there. So if you haven't already done so, obviously subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Besides last week, obviously, usually I am posting these videos every single week ahead of the Saturday racing, and basically breaking down every race and giving a top 4 selection, and then Quaddie Selections and best bets at the end of the video. So if you're looking for those, just go straight on through to the end of the video. There'll be no hard feelings from me. I won't I won't come at you through the screen if you do that, so don't stress about that. But yeah, look, I really appreciate everyone who's supported me so far, getting me to 100 subscribers. Really, blown away by it. Never thought I'd be able to get even to this point, really. So obviously give a like on the video, comment of your thoughts down below as you're watching this. If there's anything you like tomorrow or want thoughts on that I might have missed, or you even want to critique my selections, you can do whatever you like. It's obviously your forum, and this is why I do it. So hopefully we can get plenty of discussion in down below. But without any further ado, we're going to get straight into the first race of the program over 1,000 metres. It's the Debutante Stakes for Magic Millions over the look, a bit of a lottery really with this one. Usually these races historically have quite a lot of speed in this, and quite a few of these out of the jump outs have showed a fair bit of tactical speed. So I'd suggest that every horse will get their chance in the race, and more often than not, it is the best horse on the day that wins it. I know it sounds a little bit silly, but sometimes there's certain horses that just don't quite get the right run or the right tempo. This race seems like it'll have plenty of that in it, so I don't think there should be too many issues there. But look, for our first race in the program for me, look, I'm keen to go with this Animo here. I think this horse got a good chance first up for the James Cummings yard. Obviously, Damien Oliver riding, so deep, real lethal duo. This horse raced wide in its jump out. It was up on the speed, so it is one of those horses that'll be up there. And I think it's really well drawn because Ollie's going to get a good guide of what's going to happen with the field from barrier number 6. You should be able to watch any from inside or outside and roll forward. He should be able to get to probably midfield or maybe just behind the speed, a bit of cover, and he should be able to come into the race really nicely. So I just think from a draw perspective, this horse looks to have a really good run in the race, and obviously quite well bred, and I think this horse is going to run pretty well first up. So he's my on top selection. It is number 2, Animo. In for third, I've got the 4, Das Andermill. So this horse has actually drifted out a little bit in the market, but I was really impressed with its jump out recently. I thought that was it beat Written Choice in that recent jump out. That was on the 30th of September. So it was a really good effort there down at Mornington. The Jason Warham and David Krongold combination, they've been quite good so far, and they've reeled out a couple of nice debutants so far in recent weeks, and had a bit of success from them, particularly the one during the week at Mornington. In fact, that was yesterday. It was a really impressive win from that horse there. So I think this horse is going to run pretty good first up as well. Look, the draw is not ideal, barrier number 9, but it could end up getting out that bit of cover, sort of similar to where Animo is going to be, and could be running into the race nicely. I think it's got a bit of a chance there. Fake Love has barrier number 1, which is a really good barrier for this horse, and looks to have a fair bit of ability, $380,000 yearling. She looks to have a fair bit of speed based off what I've seen at her jump out. She was quite impressive in them both. Looks to be a very capable racehorse and very natural racehorse, so she should run pretty well, especially having the aid of barrier number 1. So she goes in for third. Then in for fourth, I've got number 8, Tatsuro. I thought it was a horse that's bit of value. It's a $260,000 purchase, and obviously bred to probably get over a little bit further, but I think this horse could run pretty well first up here. It's 1-2 jump out so far, which has been quite good. Admittedly, I didn't see the first one. I've seen the most recent one, which was quite good, and it's had a little bit of each way specking, which is what you like to see. So I think it's got a decent enough chance. Extreme Warrior, I know that there's a good push from the Mick Price and Mike Kent Jr.'s stable, and they do pretty well in this race. Usually they run have a couple of horses up in the finish, or if not winning the race. So historically they've done well in this race, and they usually these really early 2-year-old races, they can often pick them off. So got to respect both of their runners, both Extreme Warrior and Red Rocket Ship, and they're both pretty well drawn to get a good run. So they're outside my top 4, but I've got a bit of a watch on them. But look, recap the numbers. I think number 2, Animo, just goes on top based off I think it's going to get a perfect run the race, and looks to have a bit of ability. And I'm expecting a good first up showing ahead of number 4, Darcy Andamil. In for third, number 12, Fake Love, and then in for fourth, I've got number 8, Tatsuro. I thought it was a bit of each way value. Moving on to race number 2 on the program now, we've got the Thoroughbred Club Stakes Group 3 level over 1,200 metres. Look, I think there's going to be a decent amount of pace in this. I think Tarkul Diva and Let's Be Glam off the inside, and Bella Nipotina will roll forward, and Caprizio will probably roll up from the outside, and Swats that usually likes not be too far off the pace either. So plenty of speed on, and I think it'll really set it up nicely for number 6, Highly Discreet here. I think this horse is going to be able to charge over the top of them. I was really impressed with its last start performance at Moonee Valley behind Swats. That was getting to the line nicely, and just didn't seem to handle the Valley track, actually. It took a little while to wind up, and I think coming to Caulfield on a slightly bigger straight, it'll get some bit more time to wind up, and it just looks to be the perfect race. It looks like it's going to map out perfectly for her, so she looks hard to beat. The blinkers go on as well, which is obviously could really sharpen her up, and we could see something good out of her there. So she goes on top for me. Out of number 4, Montesira has had a bit of a freshen up since that first up win over the 1,000 metres at Caulfield. It's a good win as well, beating Valaquina on that occasion. The form of that race hasn't been too bad, so I think I could stick with it and give it a chance. Number 3, Swats, that obviously has been in good form since returning from a spell. It's had 2 runs for a second and a first, and obviously the win at the Valley was quite impressive. Bit short for me though, 235 in a race like this it is quite short from me. Bella Nipotina has got to be given a bit of a shout coming back from Group 1 grade, and I think he'll run a pretty good race here at $6.50, so it's also got a chance. And look, number 5, Tarkula Diva, she was that good last start at Geelong, and she has contested this type of level before. This is probably her hardest test. I mean, she has in a 2-year-old campaign, she went into the showdown, finished 6th there, and the start prior finished 2nd to Diala. So she has been tested at top level, but I love what I saw last start on the soft track. So she's probably hoping that there's a bit of cut out of the ground stays in there. And if there is, she's probably not the worst 30-1 shot, to be honest. I think wouldn't be surprised if she runs a race, and was lucky enough to speak to Gemma Riley during the week, and she believes that if she can jump out of the barriers and roll forward, which looks like she will be able to from her barrier, or potentially sitting behind, she should be in the finish, has every opportunity. So, and obviously Let's Be Glam's, she's quite a smart filly as well. So, really good race this one, which is why I looked around the favourite, and I've gone number 6, Highly Discreet. I think it can improve sharply off that first up performance at the blinkers on. In for second, I've got number 4, Montesira. In for third, I've got number 3, Swats That. Then in for fourth, number 2, Bella Nipotina. Moving on to race number 3 on the program now, 1,400 metres, and look at the speed map for this. So I think Runson, Archidemus, and Cuba will be the main leaders in this race here. Can't see too many of these other horses contesting the speed, and I think it's going to be a good race for Faistos first up here. I think this horse got a good chance. Looks to settle about midfield. Should be able to get a bit of cover, and hopefully they can run along well enough for him to come into the race. He's got a good first up record, 4 starts for 2 wins and a second first up, and he doesn't mind the wet or the dry conditions. He's good in both, so I've got to give him a chance. He's a very good horse. I mean, he's had 17 career starts for 6 wins and 7 placings. So he's only missed the top 4 times out of 17. So a horse like that at $6, you've got to give him plenty of respect. So he goes on top for me. I have number 6, Windstorm, who's obviously absolutely flying at the moment, and he's in terrific form. Just for me, $2.10 was just a bit short, but got to respect how good he is, and he's obviously in terrific form, and he knows how to win, which is always a positive, and that's what you want when you're going into, I guess, a horse at $2.10. So if you are keen to back him, look, it's almost a fair price because some of these other ones. So for example, Faceless got plenty of ability, but he's first up. So I mean, Windstorm's got the residual fitness, which is going to work in his favour on some of these, and he should be hard to beat. I just think the 210's a bit short for him because you get stuck into that trap a lot of times. For me, I only want to take a favourite when I look at the other options and I think there's nothing else can win, whereas I think Faceless can win. So got to go against Windstorm. So it's in for second for me. In for third, I do think that Arcademus can run pretty well first up here, and not usually the best first up performer, but I'm interested in how the Hawks team have brought this horse down to Melbourne for the first time. I'm just expecting that he might run well first up here, especially if he's able to dictate the speed, which he may be able to do. I think Cuba will probably boot up and make him work for it, but it could definitely be right in there. If it's wet, I'm going to have Travi, my friend, in my top four numbers, and it'll be in for fourth for me. But if it dries up, I'll be going with Runson as my fourth selection. But look, very keen on number 7, Face Loss here. I think it can run really well first up and should be well within a winning chance. So race number 3, number 7, Face Loss on top. Ahead of number 6, obviously the favourite, Windstorm. In for third, number 5, Arcademus. Then in for fourth, I've got Travis, my friend, at this stage. And then if we get that upgrade, I'll probably bring Runson into recognition. I think Cuba could run all right as well. And look, B Hunter even is way over the odds at $17. I mean, we've seen this horse produce some terrific bursts of acceleration from back in the field and run well. So this is a really open race, which is why I've looked a bit outside the favourite. Personally, I think there's a few chances in this race here. So move on to race number 4 now. It's the Plume Stakes over the 1,200 metres, and quite a good field here, deep field as well. I think Zelong will probably find the top with Felicia. I think they'll be the 2 leaders in the race, and in good time will probably just sit in behind them with Algodon Miss. So I think those 2 horses will probably just drop in behind them. And look, I was very keen to go Zelong here. It's $6. I don't think they'll last for tomorrow. I think this horse got a massive amount of class on this field. I mean, it's a pretty sharp field for the mares, fillies and mares, this one, but she's got a stack of ability, and I love what she's done so far in her career. She's a terrific first up performer, 3 starts for 2 wins and a placing. She runs well on both good and soft tracks, so there's no issue there for me. And I think she's going to be ready to go first up here. She had a good trial beating To Kill a Time, who's a pretty decent horse in its own right at Gawler. So I like that performance there. And Luke Curry to ride, really well drawn, looks to get a good time in the speed. Should be able to dictate, really. I mean, Felicia might put a bit of pressure on, but I think this horse is going to be running really well. And $6 about it's a great price, so it goes on top for me. Ahead of number 10, Embrace Me, who I thought was well over the odds here. I mean, this horse, was back in the field, never able to run on first up, but neither did anything else really in that Bless Her race. She's had a fair freshen up since then. That was back on the 15th of August, so it's had nearly a couple of months off now, and could really just burst into this and run well first up. Sorry, it is technically second up, but obviously it's had those couple of months off. But I think this horse is just, has plenty of class, and I know it doesn't race its best here at the track. It's had 5 starts here at Caulfield for just the 1 placing, but look, I think she's got enough ability to say that she's a much better chance at $34. So she goes in for second for me. I just thought she was way over the odds. Look, Lyre can definitely bounce back. Obviously, it was a well-supported favourite in the last race at Caulfield last start, and was a little bit disappointing there. But look, this is what can happen with these horses. They can sometimes just have that one run where she didn't do much, but now she's at those bigger odds rather than 220. She's now 460, and she can run much better. So she goes in for third for me. Then in for fourth, I do have number 4, Felicia, who obviously she's in terrific form, runs well over both conditions. She's really good here at Caulfield. She loves running here. Has only missed 1 placing from 5 career starts at the track. So she's got to be in the numbers, especially with the lack of tempo in the race. It looks like that Zelong and Felicia are going to be able to lead them up, and not much will be contesting the speed with them. Look, Exhilarates has obviously got plenty of class, and she can run a bold race first up here. Just not sure if the tempo is going to suit her. That's my only query with her, but I really respect her, and she's going in my quaddie. Obviously, she's got a good winning chance. And the other one that I didn't think I didn't mind either was number 11, Algodon Miss, who I also thought was over the odds, is going to get that perfect run in behind the speed. So, she's got to be given a bit of a chance at $26 as well. So, it is look, I am looking around the favourite here. I think it's going to be a race that's going to be potentially quite open there, and there's a few chances, and I'm going wide in the quaddie as such. And I think number 1, Zelong, goes on top for me, ahead of number Number 10, Embrace Me, who I thought was well over the odds. In for third, I've got number 7, Liar. Then in for fourth, number 4, Felicia. Moving on into race number 5 on the program now, and we've got the Scalachi Stakes Group 2 level over 1100 metres. Obviously, this race last year was to get the Melbourne Racing Club entry into the Everest. So the field's not as strong as it perhaps was last year. Last year we had some pretty good horses, ended up unearthing trekking, but it's an interesting race in that sense that, you know, with that Everest slot still remaining, it looks likely that it's going to be taken out from the Roman Console in Sydney, but the fact that Trekking came out of this race last year and ran a good third in the Everest off the 7-day backup, it could be a formula you might want to take. So if a horse comes into this and runs really well, has to be given I guess, a bit of a chance here. I'm going with one with a little bit of left field here. Look, I'm going with number 8, Dirty Work. I think this horse has got a great chance. And, I mean, you look at the form it's been around. He's had 2 terrific runs behind the likes of Classic Legend and Eduardo last start, who are in great form. Obviously, both of them have gone on with their work. And his first up run over 1,000 metres was awesome. He just flashed home late, got up... finished third behind Guitra and Nature Strip. I mean, it's as good a form as you get. If any of them are in this race, they'd be short price favourites. So, I mean, if he can replicate those 2 runs that he produced so far this preparation, third up, he's got to be in with a good winning chance here. So he goes on top for me. Then number 3, Splintex, so I think it's really good value here. I think this horse got an awesome chance. He's 2 from 2, second up. He's obviously... run pretty good in his 2 races thus far. I really like the way he hit the line last start behind Classic Legend Eduardo. So out of the same race as Dirty Work, and he was getting to the line pretty well. I think 850 is way over the odds for him, so he goes for second. In for third, number 4, Order of Command, got a terrific second up record. Is good here at Caulfield, is well suited to either the soft or the good track. Is a really consistent type of horse. So you can take him each way at a very good price. $8.50 is a great price about him, considering you think that history shows he probably should be in the top 3. Then number 10, Diamond Effort's the one that I've got in for fourth. I think this horse has got a good chance as well. Really good here at the track and distance. She loves running it here, and she comes up against some of the boys here, but she's got plenty of merit. She's been in some good form. Obviously her 5th last start in Group 1 company behind Pippi and Trekking reads really well, and she's going to really appreciate the step back in grade. I think she'll be running really well here as well. So look, the other chance of the race, Jungle Edge, I don't think it's going to be quite wet enough for him, so probably not. Hey Doc, who looks to be a bit past his best, but he does have a good second up form, so, probably a little bit over the odds at the $8. Bold Star, you wouldn't be surprised if he runs well. He's got a great 4th up record. He's got 1 win and a second from 4 career 4th up runs, so he's got a good chance at $9. So again, another race that's got plenty of depth, and obviously Octane's the other one as well, who was a little unlucky last start, and then prior to that was in terrific form. So again, another very open race, which is why I've looked outside the favourite, but I have gone with Dirty Work on top at the $4. Just think that its 2 runs to date have been terrific, and I couldn't go against it, so it goes on top for me. Ahead of number 3, Splintex, I think was well over the odds at the $8.50 based off what it's done so far as preparation. Number 10, number 4, Order of Command, another one who's a bit over the odds, and then in for fourth, number 10, Diamond Effort, who obviously appreciate the step back in grade. So moving on to race number 6 now. It's the first of the Group 1s, and we've got the Caulfield Stakes over the 2,000 metres, and obviously we get to see Russian Camelot go around again on his this will be his last run before he goes to the Cox Plate, so be really looking forward to seeing what he can do, and he's obviously a dominant favourite for the Cox Plate in a couple of weeks' time, and rightfully so with what he's done so far, and he just continues to improve with every run by the looks of it. So Gallo Chopper and Lavendi look to be the 2 leaders in this race here. I don't think anything else will go and take it up. Look, you can't go against Russian Camelot here. He's an ultimate professional. I've consistently said through this preparation, both first up and second up, that you can't go with him because he's obviously be prepared for the Cox Plate, and that's his target race, and he's probably not at 100% just yet, but he's still winning. Like he's still getting the job done, which just makes you think that, no matter what they put in front of him at the moment, he's just going to run them down. He's done it in such impressive fashion. The second first up was really good, beaten by Fierce Impact, who was targeted for that Maccabi Diva Stakes race. And then obviously last start was terrific when he at Caulfield at over the 800 metres. And I honestly struggle to see him getting beaten here. So while I'm not too keen to go into him at the $1.55. I think that's too short. He's definitely a good multi-play, so he goes on top for me. And I think Gallo Chop is over the odds. He's got good third up record. He's going to appreciate the sting out of the ground if it, regardless on if it is a soft or a good track, because he does run well in both conditions. But I think that he's just building to a good run. I didn't mind his last start performance, beaten by Russia Camo and Humidor. I thought it was a good effort. He looks to lead and dictate the terms here. Third up, he's going to have plenty of residual fitness on his side now, so I think he can run well. Obviously, Humidor will be running home late, doing what he does, so he's in for third. And then Arcadia Queen goes in for fourth, obviously coming out of that same race. And look, I've got to give Harbour Views a bit of a chance as well. Obviously, this horse is once upon a time was sort of thought about as a real sort of Caulfield Cup Cox Plate type of contender. He obviously hasn't really gone on with it this preparation, but you can't deny his ability. And $31 a bit over the odds about him. But look, Russia Camelot's really hard to beat for me here, ahead of number 1 Galo Chopper. I think he can run a good race out in front, and I think he will give them something to catch. So he goes in for second. In for third, number 2 Humidor. Then in for fourth, number 5 Arcadia Queen. Moving on to race number 7, and we've of course got the 1,000 guineas over the 1,600 metres. Really looking forward to this race for the girls. Really impressive field, a good addition of this and the guineas this year. I've been saying about it for a little while that the 3-year-old stocks look very strong, and really looking forward to this race here. Look at the speed map. I think Night Raid and Vangelic will probably be the likely 2 leaders. Love Sensation might push forward, and Odium might not be too far away either, but I could see those 2, Vangelic and Night Raid, being the main speed influences in this race here. Obviously, the 2 of the main chances are going to be back in the field. I do think that Hungry Heart's going to run well here. She's obviously been really hard to follow for a lot of punters. Has been backed into odds on a couple of times and finished second on 3 occasions now this preparation. But look, I've got to go with her because I think she's going to really, again, at the mile, she's only narrowly beaten by Rock Hard Montefilia last start, who goes around the sprint in up in Sydney. I forgot what race it was. It might have been right with the spring. I think it is the spring champion that she's going in. So, she's got to be given a good chance here. Hungry Heart. I think this was her prep. This was her race that she's been prepared for by Waller, and obviously Hugh Bowman's come down for the ride. Not just this ride, he's got a couple other really good ones as well. But I think Hungry Heart's got to be given a great chance here at $3.40. I think it's going to be hard to beat, and rightfully so. She's obviously a terrific filly, and I think she'll be the one to beat. Ahead of number 3, Instant Celebrity, who she's been absolutely perfect so far at her preparation. She's had 4 starts for 4 wins. Her 1,000 guineas prelude win was as good as it gets. It was very, very impressive work on that occasion. I love that win there, and it looks like she's going to handle getting up to the mile quite comfortably, but it is that little bit of a query, that extra step up in distance, as it always is. So got to have that little bit of a query there. Look, Thermos here, I think, over the odds here at $15. I mean, this horse was really good winning last start, which was obviously last week. 7-day backup on it, which, James Cummings, Damian Lane is a good combination here. And I think it's well over the odds. I think it's going to get a good run. Probably will boot up from barrier number 2 and sit not far from the speed. And if it gets any bit of even luck, it'll be right in the finish, I think. $15 well over the odds about it. So good each way play if you want to go down that route there. Obviously, Personal hit the line pretty well last start. Third up here, I think will be much better, and will show some improvement stepping up to the 600 metres. Looks to be doing its best work late. It's obviously a distance that she hasn't seen before, but I do think she'll get out to it pretty well, being by Fastnet Rock. So I think the Personal's also got a decent chance at good each way odds at $18. Look, other chance in the race, I think Rock My Wand really did run home nicely last start in the prelude, so it's got to be given a chance. And Night Raid will be doing its own thing in front. Aidensfield obviously has a bit of ability, so look, there is plenty of chance in this race. As you expect, it's a good field, but look, I am keen to stick with number 1, Hungry Heart. I haven't been with it so far as preparation. I haven't had to deal with any of the heartache of the seconds yet, so it goes on top for me. I think it's going to be the one to beat here. I think this was just its target race. In for second, number 3, Instant Celebrity. Then in for third, I've got number 2, Thermosphere. Then in for fourth, number 4, Personal. Moving on to the Caulfield Guineas now. Obviously, this is a terrific race, and really looking forward to this one here. There's plenty of different form lines. Got Sydney and Melbourne to contend with. I think Crosshaven, Grand Slam, and Captain Corelli and Tagaloa probably roll towards the front there, I think. And Probably Luna Fox won't be too far away either, but it doesn't look to be a whole lot of speed for this one in comparison to the Phillies race is very similar as well. But look, I'm really keen to go with Tagaloa here. I think this is its perfect race. You know, Natalie Young sounded pretty confident on it when I spoke to her the other day, and she's obviously got. They have targeted him for this race here. He's going to appreciate coming back from Group 1 company against the older horses, and he ran pretty well as well in that last start. That was the Sir John Monash, and sorry, not the Sir John Monash, the Rupert Clark. And third up here, I think it's just going to get a perfect run of the race. And unlike the Sydney horses, we know this horse will get around Caulfield well, and he'll obviously be right in the finish. So he goes on top for me. Head of number 2, King's Legacy. He's going to really appreciate stepping up to the mile. He was rocketing home the Golden Rose last time out, and he really hit the line well, which suggests to me he's going to be a real good chance here. Obviously, Hugh Bowman's quite confident in his chances as well, and I heard him speak during the week, and he was quite confident that he's going to run a good race. Ole Kirk obviously won the Golden Rose in good fashion last start, so you've got to give him respect again. I think 360 about him is a bit short, though. I think I could see King's Legacy turn the tables on him. And then in for fourth, I do have number 9, Mwanga, who it could be anything. Is the real X factor in this race. I've got absolutely no idea what this horse could end up doing. It could end up, probably being a bit overhyped, or it could come out and just absolutely blow them away because he's obviously only had the 3 starts. He's still very well untapped, but he's got a stack of ability, and Chris Waller knows what he's doing with these type of horses. So definitely has to have a chance. Camborne, I thought, was well over the odds at $14. You could definitely have an each way go at it. He was really hit the line well when not a lot did last start in the Caulfield Guineas prelude, so he ran really well in that. Obviously, Crosshaven's been in good form, did win that race there, and Amish Boy was hitting the line pretty well. But look, I think the superior form's there, and Murrigan even at $30. I mean, this horse, on his day can really mix it with some of these horses. It's been a bit disappointing so far, but maybe stepping out to the mile might see the best in that horse as well. So, look, I'm keen to go number 1, Tagaloa, but I'm also going to be having something each way on King's Legacy. I think they are the two. They've been prepared for this race and going to suit the mile the best. So they go on top. Ahead of number 3, Ole Kirk in for third. Then in for fourth, I've got number 9, Mwanga. Move on to race number 9 now. It's the Turak Handicap, and looks to be a relatively decent amount of speed. I think Saccone, Age of Chivalry, Buffalo River, they'll all be up there. Sick of Darabad. Arkanar Star off the inside barrier as well, probably roll up and get close to the lead there as well. Look, I think Mr. Quickie's well over the odds here. I think he can bounce back from his last start performance and run well here. Third up, he hasn't got the greatest third up form. It's usually fourth up that he fires, but I think that with the track drying out, that he'll run much better. He obviously hit that soft track last start behind Russian Camelot and Humidor. I think this is a much easier race. It still is a Group 1 race, but he looks to be really well placed in this, and $16 about him is a crazy price. He's obviously going to need a little bit of luck from barrier number 2 getting back in the field, but I think if he gets that even amount of luck with Jamie Carr, the way she's riding, he's got a massive chance tomorrow, so he goes on top for me. Out of number 15, Buffalo River, obviously has got plenty of ability. We know that. He was just narrowly beaten by Windstorm last time out, who will get a bit of a guide on that form earlier on in the program. And it looks to get a perfect run the race, so it should be right in the finish. So it goes in for second. I Am Superman's been in some good form. Obviously won here at Caulfield 2 starts ago, went up to Rose Hill and won a 1,500 metre race there. This obviously is much tougher. This is Group 1 company now, but you can't deny what he's done so far. He's been really impressive. And Cascadian's probably another one. I know James Cummings spoke highly of this horse here, and he has done that before, but I do think this horse is getting close to a win, and it's got great fourth up form, 2 starts for 2 wins, so you got to really respect that, and Damien Oliver in the saddle. Superstorm is coming off the 7-day backup, which I do like, obviously coming out of that run behind Very Elegant last time out at Flemington, so that's got to be the Turnbull Stakes, and it could run really well here coming to Caulfield, as the track has run well at before, and will probably run a nice race, so I've got to have a bit of respect for it as well. But look, I am going number 1, Mr. Quickie, on top for me, ahead of number 15, Buffalo River, in for second. In for third, I've got number 4, I Am Superman, and for fourth, number 2, Cascading. The other one as well, I did speak to Mike Murray during the week, and he did give a good push towards Harlech. Obviously, his best form around the likes of Probable and Catalyst will really measure up to these. So if he can recapture that type of form, he could run well as well. Move on to the final race of the program. It is the Herbert Power, and looking at the speed for this, so I think that in good health, Zabrowski and Order the Guard look to be the main speed factors of the race. Chapata probably shouldn't be too far off them either. but they look to be the main. Look, I'm going to back into Zabrowski here again. Obviously, he has disappointed me a little bit, but the Hawks team have got a plan. They want to get him into the Cups, and he's got to win this race to get in. So I think that they'll have him right to go. $10 is a good price for me. So he goes on top there. Number 3, Order of the Garter. Obviously, he's a terrific racehorse that he knows how to win. He knows how to be to run well. So he's got to be respected. Then for third, I've got number 9, Chapata. And then for fourth, number 5, Miami Bound, who I think have bounced back. And the Chosen One's probably another one that I don't mind at each way odds. Now, I'm going to be putting my Quaddie selections down in the description here. I'm just seeing I'm about to run out on my video here. So what I'm going to quickly do is get into my best bets and my best value bets. So best bets of the program, I'm going with Hungry Heart in the 1,000 Guineas, race number 7. And then in race number 8 of the Guineas, I'm going with number 1, Tagaloa. Best value bets, I'm going in race number 9, number 1, Mr. Quickie. And then the other one that I didn't mind at a bit of each way value came in race number 4, and it is number 1, Z Long, who I think is well over the odds. So, look, they're my best value bets, best bets. And obviously, I'll put my Quaddie selections in the description, so check that out if you want to follow along. But thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Obviously, go check out my Randwick video after this one here. And if you subscribe, if you're new, go follow me on the social media, CL_race on Instagram and CL Racing Tips on Facebook. So, really appreciate you tuning into this video here. And obviously, all the best tomorrow with any of your bets or any of your investments, or even if you're just enjoying the races tomorrow. It's going to be a terrific day of racing, as it always is on Guineas Day. So look forward to that. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate all of your support, and have a great day tomorrow.